Hello, welcome back to another instalment of this series of videos on this Galanti 32 bass. And in the last little clip I was preparing the bellows for retaping, and so here they are, and the bellows tape's now arrived, so I ordered some silver bellows tape and some black. So what I'm going to do is on these bellows is start off by putting a silver bellows tape all the way around, and then when it comes to the front where it's been seen a bit more, what I'm going to do, it's the first time I've tried this actually, is do a little diamond in black. So you have silver with a black diamond, so when you open it up it just looks nice. So that's my aim, the first time I've done it, so it'll be interesting to see if I can. So the first thing is to start cutting the bellows tape. So I'm going to start on the back, and so what I need to do first of all is to work out how long I need the bellows tape, each bellows tape, bit of bellows tape to be is. And before I can do that, what I want to do is make some marks down the corners on equidistant from the end, so I've got where I want my bellows tape to be. So when I'm lining it, or when I put them on, I can just line it up and make sure I'm trying to get it as straight as possible, because sometimes what can happen, you start putting the bellows tape on, it starts to go at an angle, so it starts to kind of veer one way or the other. So I've got myself a sharp pencil, I'll just sharpen it a bit more, and a ruler, and I'm going to make some pencil lines down on the outside of the bellows corners, and trying to get that nice and straight where and what I've done, I've just made a nice little mark with pencil that will come off, and so that'll be my kind of edge of my bellows tape on that side, and I'll do the same thing this side. Let's have that first bit. What do you mean? This is tricky, trying to get lined up. Okay, the next bit is to measure as carefully as I can how long each of those long bits is going to be. So I'm going to measure from pencil line to pencil line. So that's 293. Just check on a couple. 293. Yeah. So now I'm going to do 293 mil as my length. Now this is where it has to be done really accurately, because if you get them more than a mil out, it will start to look a bit weird. So what I'm going to do is the bellows tape, I'm going to put it upside down, get some nice sharp scissors. Oopsie. Make sure I'm starting off with a nice straight edge, like so. So 293, just double check what I said. 293, in fact I'm just going to write it down somewhere. And I'm going to get my ruler and again sharp pencil, and this is where you just got to take your time, so and just get your best eyes on. 293, stretch it onto there. Little mark. Get it straight. I'm just going to double check how well I did that. 293. Yeah, lovely. So that's my first piece. So this is a. But what I'm not going to do is use that as a template, because what tends to happen is that you get a cumulative error happening. So I'm going to do each one on the ruler, so they're all. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can. So I need to count how many of these I need for this back bit. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. So now the next thing I'm going to do is cut 13 bits of this. I won't film this bit because it's not that exciting. I'm going to cut 13 bits of 293. Right, here we are. I've got my 13 pieces of 293. That's all good. And now what I'm going to do is start to prepare them. Hang on, my clipper's falling off. Start to prepare them. I don't know if the cat's going to come today. I can find out. Bilbo! Bilbo! Come on! See if you can come up. But anyway, so now I'm going to prepare the bellows tape. And so just move that across a little bit. Hopefully you can still see. So what I've done with the first one, I'm going to stick on, it just folded it in half. And the reason I've done that is that that really helps to centre that bellows tape over the middle of over the fold. Helps you to get it lined up in the middle. So just fold it in half. And I'm going to start somewhere in the middle and then work the way out. So that in my theory, if I start at the top, it might just go like that. If I start in the middle and work out, I might have got a better chance of keeping it straight. So who knows? Let's see. And to help me along the way, I've got my clamps. So I'm just going to get those ready and get these out. I'm going to get them all out. I need a lot of clamps. Right. So next thing is to get some glue ready. So I'm going to use some Ireland Turbo Tacky glue. So let's just put some on my little pot. So I'm going to use my finger as a spreader outer. So I just need to get a rag so I can just clean my hands off a little bit in between. So I'll just get a little rag there. Right. So now I just got to go for it really. So this is always the slightly tense when you think, oh right, just got to get stuck in now. So I'm going to get my glue and just apply a nice even coating of this Ireland's Turbo Tacky. It's kind of a PVA glue really, but somehow it's just a little bit quicker drying and a bit tackier, so I'm not quite sure what Eileen does to it, but it's like a white PVA really. But anyway, I think it's really good. So here we go. So we've got a nice, make sure you go right to the corners, because you want to make sure the whole piece of that bellows tape is actually going to stick where you want it to. Right, now the next thing is to choose your starting fold. And in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring it round a little bit so that I can put it on my lap. So let's just turn that around. I think I'm going to find that a bit easier. There we are, a bit easier to manage. Right, so I'm going to choose my first fold, that one, and I'm going to use my marks that I made with my pencil. I use that fold that I made to help, and there we are. So that's nicely, so those pencil marks I've made certainly have helped that a lot. So now that bellows tape is on, I'm going to just secure it along its length, making sure I'm just, as I'm putting the clips on, pushing it down onto the fold. And it has to, you need quite a few clips because it has to be glued all the way along. There we go. That's it. That's the first fold done. Now, as you can see, it's quite a time-consuming business, this. But I'll leave those for 5 minutes or so, just to get that glue drying a little, and then I'll take the clips off, show you what it looks like, and I'll get the next one ready. After what you do speed up. So what I would sometimes do that one, and then while that's drying, perhaps do one underneath, which is not going to get in touch with the clips. So perhaps leave a few, put another in. So you do need little shortcuts sometimes. But for now, I'm just going to show you one, show you what it looks like, and then what I'll do, I'll just carry on doing the same kind of process and show you when it's all been done. So let's leave that for about 5 or so minutes, and then I'll come and show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's my first one on. So I'm just going to put a second one on because I've got it ready. And so I'm going to go to the next one underneath it now, I think. Again, using that pencil line as a guide. And then just okay, and I'm just going to put the clips on. There we go. So that's the second one on. So I'll leave this for 5 minutes and then I'll take them off, and then I'm just going to after that I'll carry on to finish the whole of the side. So just show you the second one on, and then I'm just going to carry on. Okay, so I've got 2 on. So now I'm going to do the rest of another 11 to do, and I'll show you when after there's 11. Okay, I'm just going to crack on. Right, here we go. So I've now done the back bellows tape, and the bits I haven't done yet is the bit where they're not complete folds, so just the right at the edge of the bellows where it's fixed to the bass side or treble side of the accordion, and there you need half a piece of bellows tape, or a bit less than a whole piece, because it's not a complete fold. It's actually stuck down to the bass side here and the treble side. So I'll do that right at the end when I've done all the bellow taping all around, and then I'll show you how to do the finishing off bits around there. So that's the first side done. Looking nice, I'm happy with that. So now I'm just going to carry on and do all of the different sides with the silver in the same way, and I'll show you when that's completed. Hello again. So I just tell you where I've got to so far. So I've managed to do the silver bellows tape on the front and the back, and I've decided I'm going to do on the sides, I'm going to do an alternating gold and silver down the sides, and then on the front I'm going to do a gold diamond. And one of the reasons why I decided to do the alternating gold and silver on the sides is partly due because I didn't quite measure and order enough silver. So I didn't quite have enough silver to do the back, front, out all the sides, but I've got lots of this gold which looks really nice. So I'm going to do an alternating silver gold, and then that will fit in nicely, I hope, with my little gold diamond that I'm going to put on there. So it's going to make it all come together. So all I'm going to do now is do my sides alternating gold silver, but I'm not going to do the final bit of bellows tape which goes on the very last bit of card, which is actually fixed to the bass or treble sides. I'll do that at the end. I'll show you how to do that funny little bit, because it's a little bit different. Okay, so I'm just going to crack on and do the sides, and I'll show you when they're finished. I hope they look okay. Hello again. So where have we got to? Where have I got to? Not we. Where have I got to? So show you the latest progress. So I've done the back, the front, and I've done the sides. So the sides I've done in this alternating silver and gold, and I think actually looks pretty nice. Now the bits I haven't done are the right at the top and the bottom, because they're not really folds, they're kind of half folds if you like. So I'm going to show you how I do these little extra bits, and then after that I'll show you how I'm going to have a go at doing a little diamond on the front with gold. So let me just focus in a bit, and so you can see what I'm doing. Give me a second. So here we have it, and so we're going to do the section just here, which is kind of half a fold, just a bit that's actually stuck onto the base side. So you can't really get you can't get the bellows tape around the whole fold, because there isn't a whole fold to get it around. So what I have to do here is get the right length. So I'll just show you what I've got here. So I've got the right length, which is for the bellows tape, but I've cut it in half. So I've just divided it in half, so it's half the width. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the bellows tape onto the cardboard bit of the fold, but just leave a little bit overhanging, and that little bit overhanging I'm going to tuck into that little join that goes along here, and I'm going to have to glue that with super glue to get that to stay in place, because you have to have something quite quick and firm to get that to stay. So it's going to be two kind of glues for this. You're going to use a PVA glue for the sticking it onto the cardboard bellow bit, and then I can use a little bit of super glue just to tuck in the foldy bit. So first thing then, I'm just going to put some get me glues correct. I'm going to put some PVA or Eileen's tacky glue on about half of the tape, and just leave a little bit clear for the overhang. So then I can use some super glue on that bit. So this, and I'm going to need a few little tools. I've got a little flat blade screwdriver here as well. That's going to be handy. Right, let's do this. So I'm going to do about half the width with the PVA or the Eileen Super Dubu Tacky, whatever you call it. So just quite quickly get that nice and covered. Ooh. Using my patented glue application system, otherwise known as my index finger. Yeah. Okay, ooh, it's a bit messy. Ah. Right, let's see if I can do this. Let's pull that up. Actually, I might bring it down here, so what I do is I'll just... It's like difficulty of filming this. I might try to do it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to get the edge with the glue on in position, so get it lined up exactly in position. In fact, I just noticed something. It's a bit, just a smidge longer. I'm going to take a little smidge off that. So this is a bit of a fiddle. And that's no lie. Just getting it lined up. There we go. So now I'm going to push that down. And leave a little bit overhanging just here. I'm zoom on that. So I've got a little bit overhanging. So that's just the bit pushed down with the Eileen Super Tacky doodah. So that's going to be fine. And then for the little overhanging bit, I'm going to use a little bit of super glue and then tuck it into that little fold, little kind of join, just to complete the finish. So to do that, I'm going to run some super glue along there and then push the tape onto that super glue and finish off that little join. So here you go. Now, one thing about super glue, it sticks your fingers to things, but there we are. Right, so I'm going to run some along here. Go. And now I'm just going to tuck with my little screwdriver here. Going to tuck that little overlapping bit into there you go. So now we're just tucking it into that little crack, if you like. Just want to go along with this screwdriver. Tuck it all in. And once I've got that all tucked in, it will get me a nice finish of that last piece of bellows tape. So I'm just going to carry on with that tucking in, and I'll show you when I've got it all nicely tucked into that little groove. Okay, I think I say okay too much. Here we are. Now, what I've done here is I've done all of the main taping of the bellows. So that's the back, and the sides I've done this alternate silver and gold. Front and the side. I think it looks quite nice actually. And I finished off all the little edges, which you haven't really got a fold, just kind of half a fold thing. You just quite carefully tuck in the edge into the join. That just takes a little bit of time and care, but overall I think it looks nice. So I'm happy with that. So it definitely looks a lot better and a lot neater, so that's nice. So the next thing is to think about how to get my little kind of diamond shape on here. Now this is where I need to do a little bit of thinking and working it out, because I've never done it before. So let's have a think. Let's put it this way. So the colour I'm going to use on the silver is the gold, because I think that's going to look really nice, and it also matched the gold edges that I put on all the way around, so that will match that carefully. So luckily with accordions they put an odd number of folds, so it's 13, and that means that you can have one bang in the middle. So number 7 will be bang in the middle, and you've got 6 either side, which makes it nice and easy then to do your symmetrical pattern. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to get much more difficult to get a nice symmetrical pattern. It's these. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Anyways, so now the next thing is trying to work out what kind of pattern. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go for fold number 7, which is bang in the middle, is going to be the longest, and then gradually get smaller and smaller. Now how long to make the longest, I have no idea. I've not done this before. I think I'm just going to have to just go by intuition here. So I think I'm going to just cut. No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure the length of number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 292. So make sure I'm thinking of that. And let's think about how much to put on. 292. You see, I'm making it up as I go along, which is perhaps not the best thing, but there you go. I think it's going to look good there. Right, so I'll make a mark on that. Right, let's see what I've come up with there. Okay, so I'm going to go for 23 centimetres. Okay, so I'm going to cut this 23 centimeters or 230 millimeters. So I'm going to cut this one. And then I can think about how I'm going to fit it. So if I just put it in without sticking it for a minute, you might get an idea of what it might look like. Maybe. I think hey, I think that's going to look really nice. Brilliant. So now I've got that, I need to get my pencil and I do a bit of calculating, because what I'm going to do is, first of all, mark the halfway point on here. So it's 292 divided by 2 would be 196. That won't. It would be 146. No. 146. Hang on a minute. 280. Yeah, 146. So 146 millimeters along here is going to be exactly halfway. So I need to make a mark of that, because on that will help me put this bang in the middle. Right, so on here, this was 230, so 115, I'll make a mark on this. That's what I've got on the cold side actually. So we've got a nice pencil just to 115. Make a little mark that I can see. Right, so what did I say it was again? 146. So 146, I need to make a measurement on here, so I'll just turn it around. So this is all very high tech, as you can see. Right, but it will work. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, just that one there. Ooh. So I need to measure 146 on this one. Here we go. Right, now we're cooking on gas. So now I've got that lined up, I've got my little mark. There we go. Okay, I'm now ready to glue that first one on. So right, so I'm going to fold this one in half, as I normally do. Get my glue ready and get my clamps ready. I'm quite excited really, because I've not done this before. I said quite excited about this because I haven't done it before. So here we go. Clamps, glue, and I'm just going to double check my little marks. So that's good. Right, get my little glue pot. There we go. And whilst this is drying, I can then be thinking about the size of the next two, because the next two are going to be the same, because I'm going to make a diamond. So these, I'll think about how I'm going to do the next two. So I'll go off think about making the diamond equally get smaller and smaller, if you know what I mean. So however much I decrease it by, I'll have to do that on the subsequent ones as well. So just have to do a little bit of thinking, I think, which isn't a bad thing. Right, here we go. Make sure that's nice and covered in the oiling's too tacky. Right, I'm going to bring this round a little bit. That's where I'm going to be doing it. There we go. Right, a little bit nervous because this is potential for cock up. Let's have a go. So I'm going to line up my lines. Hey, there we go, that's nicely lined up. Yep, that looks good. Just double check. Here we go. Right. Whew, that's a bit more tricky than I was thinking. But there we go. That's on. Right, let's get the clamps on it. Oopsie. Tried to do too quickly. More haste, less speed. Less speed, more haste. No, something. Don't rush. There we go. Right, so that's my first bit of my diamond on, so I can leave that to dry. and do a bit of calculating of what the next ones are going to be. So if I just put that just for 5-10 minutes just for that to dry, and I'll do some calculating and I'll come back and tell you how big the next ones are going to be. Right, so exciting times. Anyway, I've got my first gold, that's fine, and I've been doing some calculations. So that gold was 230. So what I'm going to do is have 4 pieces underneath that first gold one and 4 above. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do pairs of lengths of the same length, one each side, and then another pair a bit smaller, another pair a bit smaller to make my diamond. So what I'm going to do, I've done some calculations, I'm going to do the next 2, so one each side of that first one, and they're going to be 190, so they're going to be 40 mil less. So I'll cut those 290s, and because they're 40 mil less, what I need to do then is just measure 20 mil, make sure I've got 20 mil at both sides, and that should make it centralized. So I'm going to cut my 290s, and I'll put that out of the way, and then I'll get my nice ruler. 190, right. Exciting. 190. Actually, just square that off a little. 190, right. So let's just cut a couple of these. Well, I'll just do one to start with, and then right, let's see how this goes. So I'll put a bit of a glue on. And I think the beauty of this, doing this on this accordion, which is just not a customer's accordion, it's one I've bought needing repair, is that I'm kind of got free reign to do my own little choice of patterns and tapes and everything else, rather than having to follow instructions. And the other thing is, because I haven't done this before, I haven't got to be worried about messing it up, because it's my accordion anyway and I don't mind. So in that respect, that's good. Right, just gonna keep that safe a minute. So what I need to do now then is put this on, and I need to have 20 mil so in fact what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure 20 mil, just make a little mark, and then halfway this up to the next one down. And just double check. Perfect. So this should be fine. And I'll just get this nice and even, and just double check. Nice. Okay. So there we are. So that's my second one. Ooh. I really like doing this. It's really nice. Just a nice task. So let's get some clamps on this one. You'll be with the clamps for these bellows tapes. It's good to have the plastic ended ones, don't use metal ones, because they can bite into the tape a bit, so make sure you've got some plastic clamps so it doesn't bite into it too much. I keep trying to put that one on, hasn't it? Broken right. There. There we are. So to put that one on now. Now it's difficult to do two at the same time, because what happens if the clamps are too close to each other, they just knock each other off. So I'll just do that one, and I'll cut my next 190 and put it above. So I'll show you when I've done my next 190. Show the two 190s on, then you can see the beginning of the diamond pattern. There we go. So see it. Okie. There we are. So now I've got the first 3 sections. So now I've just done 290s. Now I'm going to do 250s. Take off 40 again. Right. So now I need to cut my 250. So what I'll do my next 150. Sorry. I'll stick them on and I'll show you what that looks like. Right. There we go. So I've got the next 2 on, and now I'm up to some 110 mil parts. So there'll be my next part of the diamond. So I'll put them on. I'll show you when I've got 100. Yeah, look at that. That's quite nice. And that's on. Right, I'll show you that in a sec. Right, getting close now. So that's my next one done. So the next one is 70. So I keep going down by 40 mil. 70. That might be the last one. I'll see what it looks like, because I could also do a 30, but I'm not sure. I think I'll just try the 70, show you when I've done a 70, and then see. Okay, so I'll show you when I've done the next two little bits. And there we have it. I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to do any more on that diamond. I think that's plenty. So there we are. So that's my, I don't know what's the best light to see it really. That's the diamond. So I like that. I think it looks really nice, and also as you play it, obviously you've got that bit of movement of the shape. Yeah, so pleased with that. So I won't do it on the back, and the reason I won't do it on the back is because that's the bit that gets rubbed a little bit sometimes when you're playing it, and so that'll just rub the diamond off anyway. So I'll leave that plain, but keep that diamond like that. So this accordion's got a bit more work to be done on it just yet, so I've got to just replace the bellows gasket. I've got to do some reed work. I've got to fix a little bit of a problem with the adjuster for the bass strap. So a few little bits and bobs, which I might do a little video on some of the bits and bobs actually. But if I put the treble side back on, just to have a little look. Let's just bring it up a little bit. There we go. And that's what it now looks like, with the bellows finished and the little diamond in place. So I'm really pleased with that. I think it looks nice. Just makes it look quite glitzy. And it's a lovely little accordion, little Italian Galanti. So I think we're just making that little diamond on there. Makes it look really nice. So there we are. That's the end of this little set of videos. But I will probably do another video or two just on the bits and bobs and showing how it sounds and everything else. But yeah, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.